Greetings and welcome to the Diablo 4 video. Today we're going to talk about what are dungeons in Diablo 4, and we're going to go through the whole dungeon together. Don't worry, this will have next to no spoilers. This is a very early dungeon from Act 1 that you can do very early on. Dungeons actually scale with your level, so this is a level 25 dungeon because I am level 25, so the difficulty scales with you along with the world tier that you are selecting. I am in world tier 2 here, so it's a bit more difficult, but we'll be alright. And yeah, let's go into the dungeon soon. I just want to talk about shortly what it is. So you can see here this dungeon is called Tormented Ruins. It has a little bit of flavor text, like it's been centuries since this watchtower saw mortal use. So it's a watchtower, it's pretty neat. And you can see this reward here on first completion. You will get an aspect. In this case, it's aspect of the unsatiated. I'm not 100% sure if these aspects are fixed per dungeon, so that this dungeon will always have this aspect, but it won't change over time once it states the aspect here. So the aspect is for druid. As you can see, it is in red because we are not a druid. That means we can find and collect aspects for other classes as well. And aspects is something you can use as a legendary enchant for any item. And I will go into detail into this in another video, but just for now, for this dungeon, on your first completion, you will get this aspect that you can then use indefinitely. It shows in your codex of power. I already have some of the aspects, but in total there seem to be 114 for all classes. So the dungeon itself, it is instance. The size this means you will be alone in this instance or with your group, but it's not open world. Like out here it's all open world and you can meet other players, but in this dungeon you are by yourself or by your group, depending on how you approach the dungeon. And yeah, that's about it. It's most of the time, or usually it has some kind of task that you need to do, then it opens a door, and then you maybe need to slay every minion in that area or something else, and then you will have a little boss. So let's get right into it. It says Tormented Ruins, slay a Dalgrim and collect the tower key. So that's our first thing that we need to do. Let me just quickly turn off the side quest. Yeah, speaking of side quests, you can also have side quests that will lead you into a dungeon and give you additional rewards. In this case, we don't have a side quest for this particular dungeon, but that's okay. So basically, I'm guessing... No, I think the tile set is not random for dungeons. I'm not sure. I've run like a dungeon twice yet, and the tile set was, I think, the same, but it could be that it's a bit randomized. It needs further testing. Other than that, basically you want to look for the objective that you need to do. In this case, you need to find a Dalgrim and slay him or her, or whatever it is. We are like in the corner here right now. But of course you can like slay everything, but there's no like reward for that right now, aside from XP, gold and drops. So one thing you can do is just like run through it and search for the objective, or you can just kill everything.
We're not ready yet.
So for the purpose of this video, to show you just what the dungeon is and what it entails, I'm just gonna search for the objective. There are shrines like this that buff you temporarily. This shrine here right now gives me 100% critical chance for a period of time. Like elite monsters like these ones that of course drop some items. And here is the objective. And he just dropped the tower key, and now we use the tower key to open the gate, which leads us to the like second area of this dungeon, and probably to the boss of the dungeon. gate. And now we are at a little event here where we need to destroy the demonic corruption. And this is always a little bit different depending on the dungeon. It isn't always this little event. It could be something else, depending what dungeon it is. So there's quite some variety to it. But there are also some things that are very similar. Like I've been to another dungeon that's also like a tower like this. It doesn't look exactly the same, but some of it is very similar. But that's alright. I mean, there are a lot of dungeons, and there are also different acts, and I suppose that the acts are different. So this shrine gives me every few seconds a shockwave that does a lot of damage. Most of the shrines I've been picking up have been something that does a lot of damage, or I will do more damage. I had one that gives me a lot of protection.
I'm not ready.
But yeah, the atmosphere is cool, the music is very nice, sound design top notch, environment design looks awesome.
More time.
I wish that we could change the wordings here, like dazed, vulnerable, dodge, immune. It's so big and looks so basic, but probably they're gonna do something about that before release.
Need more time.
I turned off damage numbers because I don't like to see all the numbers all the time. If you're surprised to not see any damage numbers, I turned them off. Legendary. Twisting Blades. Empowered, okay. I'm gonna take a look at that later. I think the legendary just dropped from like a random elite monster, if I saw that correctly. So most of the time there's like a healing well before you join the like boss chamber, and the healing well fully restores your health plus gives you all your potions back. As you can see above my health globe, I have 5 out of 5 potions now, so I cannot really show you because I cannot use it if I'm full on life, but it would restore all my healing potions, so that I'm prepared for the boss actually. Scourge of the Land. Hello, boy.
I need more time.
Just blow him up. As you can see, he has some attacks that you can actually evade with your circle ability or just walking around him. And if you have filled up his stagger meter, the things that stun or daze, then after some time he will be stunned for a bit. And here we go. And now we have unlocked the aspect, we have completed the dungeon, and you can easily leave the dungeon by this emote wheel or like action wheel and press leave dungeon, or you can also use a town portal. But if you leave dungeon, you will be set outside the entrance of the dungeon. And that was the dungeon. That's how dungeons work in Diablo 4 so far. Pretty cool experience because there's always like some different event. It's very cool environment. It's very cool sound design. But I'm looking forward to exploring more of these dungeons. And for now, this is it. Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun, and goodbye.